Hi again then guys, and welcome to episode 21 of Tour of Japan, the review series for the Super GT class machines of Gran Turismo 6. And in this episode we're featuring a GT300 class machine. It's the second of the two JGTC RE Amemiya RX-7s. This is of course the non-premium 2004 spec machine. We reviewed the premium version quite a few episodes ago, and I believe I mentioned in that episode, if I remember correctly, that the differences between the two cars are for the most part very slight. There's only a matter of 1 or 2 points of difference between them. In terms of power, for instance, this car only has 1 horsepower less, fully tuned, than the premium car at 724 horsepower. The torque figure is 10 pound-feet less at 482. They both weigh exactly the same, interestingly, at 1100 kilos. The PP on this model is, again, 1 lower at 623, and also the power-to-weight ratio, fairly obviously from having 1 horsepower less, is also 1 horsepower lower at 658 horsepower per tonne. The biggest difference between the two cars, though, is the price. It's not 1 or 2 grand less. This car is 200,000 credits cheaper than the premium model. So in other words, it's a much better value machine. It may not have a detailed interior, but 200 grand for the sake of losing 1 horsepower and 10 pound-feet of torque and 1 PP, that still makes it a pretty amazing value machine. At 300,000 credits, it's one of the best value Super GT cars in the game, I would say, because you get so much power, especially for a GT300 car. You get so much power and performance within that category for that price. This car can do around 230 miles per hour with low aero in both its premium and non-premium forms, making it pretty much the fastest GT300 class car in the game. Acceleration wise, they're very similar, perhaps some slight differences, but kind of negligible really between the two. The main difference, I would say, is the handling, and they do actually feel different. I would say, ironically enough, that the non-premium model, this model, actually possibly handles slightly better than the non-premium, or than the premium car. Now the premium of course has the advantage of looking better and having a fully detailed interior, and as we said, slightly superior specs. But overall, I would say that this is the better of the two cars. As long as you don't mind not having an interior, it's much better value for money, has the same performance, despite having slightly lower specs, and the handling, I don't know if it's just me, but the handling feels slightly sharper on this model. Slightly more focused, and a little bit less tail happy. Now the premium version isn't overly tail happy anyway, but this version even less so, which is a good thing of course for a racing car. So overall, for the GT300 class, this is arguably one of the strongest models you can get. Its main rival would be probably the ASL Garaya, which is itself a very strong car. This car though, in a straight line, can absolutely destroy the Garaya, especially for top speed, with the ASL doing more around the 220 mile per hour region compared to this car's 230. So I would go so far as to saying this is possibly the best all-round GT300 car in the game. Certainly of the series so far, but possibly in the game. And if you haven't tried the AsparaDrink RX-7 before, I'd definitely recommend that you give it a go, because it has the handling that you need, sharp, focused and grippy. It has pretty much the best top speed of its class alongside the premium version, very strong acceleration, and it also feels, I would say, lighter than it actually is. It's 1100 kilos, but it could even pass as, say, a 900 kilo car, and you'd believe that if someone told you it, because it just handles itself so well for its weight. The weight balance is very good also. But to top it all off, that 300 grand price means that the value for money is through the roof on this model. It's fantastic value for money. That's less than half the price of, say, a GT500 Supra for a car which has only around 60 to 100 horsepower less. So pretty good value for money. So if you need a good all-round GT300 car specifically, but also by extension just a Super GT car in general, it'd be hard to find one better than this. So I definitely recommend that you give it a go if you're looking for a race car of this spec. And that's it for this episode. So I'll see you guys next time. And as always, thanks for watching.